call this meeting to order. Rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Kristen, you want to make sure we're all here?
Brad Bassick,
Yeah, I'm here.
Ed Repe,
Here.
Joe Skvark,
Here.
Nicole Kelly, Jen Wilson,
Here.
Irene Morales,
Here.
Carly Morris,
Here.
Josh Barnes,
Here.
Robin Arvanitis, Christian Bartholomew.
Here. All right, first up, approval of the minutes from the January 8th, 2025 meeting.
I need to make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries 4-0. Irene,
Yes.
any correspondence?
None.
None. Okay. Reports from staff.
Start with Josh.
Hello, how are you guys?
Hello.
Reports. So we are finished with our first month of 2025. So far, so good. Actually, it's going really great. Currently, right now, we're right in the middle of our dances. So we had our mother-son dances last weekend. We have our daddy-daughter dances this weekend. This year is our largest mother-son dances to date. We had just under about 380, 390. And for perspective, we have struggled to get over like 100, 150. So we've even had to like cancel a dance and combine them into one. But that was between 2 days, last Friday and last Saturday. And then we have the daddy-daughter dances this weekend, which are completely sold out, and we're about at 420 and growing. So that's really, really great news. We're busy preparing for February, March, and then obviously into the new year. So just some exciting things happening, and I'm hoping that looking into what the dances have done and the success of those, and I'm hoping that kind of like transposes into the rest of the year. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Great job.
Nothing to report today from me.
Okay.
I also have nothing to report today.
February is a great month, guys. Great month.
John misses one meeting, nobody's here.
John's not here. Everyone's like, nothing to report. We're good. I love it. That's awesome. Okay.
The only thing I got is I finalized the 2024 report.
Okay.
As you can see, the brochure. I won't
this.
go
Yeah,
through,
yes,
yes,
yeah,
the
okay.
lovely booklet that I made. I won't go through everything. It's kind of standard what we do every year. It's just giving you guys a highlight of what we did. We talk about community center rentals. There was 118 rentals this year. So thank you, Kristen, who did a great job with that. We have our participation at 4,496 registered on Civic Rec. And park non-reverting reached a yearly total of $431,097. That's actually a decrease of 17%. At the bottom too, we had 5 new sponsored benches installed this year, so that was great. More of just a recap, the new playground was installed at Alden Creek, and fencing improvements at Reeder Park, and then the structures and tables at the splash pad, which is, we're looking forward to another great summer with that. Our CSRI programs, we are really trying to get those off. I know we had a lot of discussion about that last year, so we've been incorporating different ideas, different businesses that we can work with. So I know there's some new classes and new things that they got going for this year also. Okay, they do a painting class with them, and they love it. So Joyce runs that, so it's doing really well.
Can we
Go ahead.
chat about the 17% decrease in
Sure.
recurring revenue?
So we can either do it there, or towards the end, I go over more of the programs, events, and budgets.
Okay.
Just to, I guess, get in more detail on that.
Okay, that would be
So-
fine. Okay.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we.
Yes,
have a
yes, we will
conversation
get there. Donations this year, we got $7,655.08. from various companies, Crown Point Community Foundation. We had a bench at the bike trail and from Janelle Van Klerken. Another bench at the dog park from Anthony Mikachik, and sorry if I mispronounced that. We also got our in-kind donations for Hocus Pocus, 28,000 pieces of candy, which was worth about $1,500.
Wow.
Yeah. So, let me see. Other things to point out was the awards that we got this year. John got the Outstanding Professional of the Year award. Sorry he couldn't be here today. And then Rorman Park got a National Park Award. We've seen, according to the counters, and these are rough estimate numbers on this one, about 38,000 people have used our trails this year. If you go into the next page, it gives more information about Fest. We saw about 50,000 people in attendance throughout that week. Fireworks, we saw an upward of, I guess this is a combination of 60,000 just with those events alone. Concession stand made $25,842.50. They had 3 tournaments, 16 team rentals, 271 games, and 488 practices. Dog park, 119 members. That, I think, is really steady every year. We haven't had an influx of dog park members. Carly? Okay, yeah. So that one's just, that's doing pretty well. There's no any real renovations or anything that need to be done for that at this moment. And so basically it just goes into what we're doing on Facebook and Civic and Eventney, and also the town planner. Town planner, we haven't gotten actual numbers with them yet. But I know as of last year, we had 3 million views through Town Planner alone, so that's actually a really good, helpful, it's a marketing strategy for us there. So on the next page, those are just our first quarter events that we have going on. So you always look through those and just see what's happening within this, before summer hits, basically. Okay, so now to talk about non-revenue, our non-reverting revenue and the general fund. So general fund is steadily doing what it's supposed to be. This just is a combination of field rentals, the community center, the showmobile rentals, the shelter rentals, the pipeline. Those are pretty standard. We don't have any real issues with that. At the bottom, I do have dog park listed to see how much revenue was brought in as opposed to expenses. So when you get to non-reverting, in a nutshell, what is going on for, I say, the decrease? So now we have this where every year there's something new, in a sense, where, you know, we've had years in the past where we've gotten too close to the line with spending. This year, though, I can say that spending in an aspect, we've dropped probably 30-40% of our spending, so we're doing phenomenal in that department. What's happening, though, is we're not bringing in the revenue. So that offsets, and that's what goes for the 17% decrease in our overall budget.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if that kind of makes sense, or
I guess on my end,
Yes.
it looks like, if I just look at non-reverting revenue, it looks like we're losing
right.
money, right? And I don't know
Yes.
why we have revenue, but overall with miscellaneous, and then overall with miscellaneous. Like,
So
give me
when
an idea of what the
that could be
miscellaneous is.
overall miscellaneous can be hours of staff that aren't working on, like, say, a particular program or event. They're in the office maybe doing other things, or they are working on everything together. So that's just all the extra that's there that's very hard to account for. We've gotten a lot better with it and pulling down exactly what we are doing. When we do the budget sheets, we do a percentage of 5, is it up to 10% now? 15%. So we do a 15% overhead. So whatever it is that we're generating, bringing in, we make sure that we're taking overhead and putting it to the side. Because some of this non-reverting too, it could be half of NIPSCO. Or, and they are using the building, so we make sure that we're putting that percentage aside to help with, I guess, the offset of everything else. But basically what's happening is we're not bringing in, we had some events not do so hot.
Okay.
So me and Josh are actually in the talks of kind of revitalizing events, because if you really look at the breakdown on paper, it's coming from events, not programs.
Okay.
Right. So we're trying to just find our
Just
new.
because I also know people, I don't know how many people are watching, it might be two, or it might be none. Can you define the difference between a program and an event? So that,
The difference, okay. So programs are usually based in the community center. Say during the summer, it's our summer camps. We have cooking classes. We have toddler classes for, there's like music time, there's instructor-based classes. And then events are normally, they're not always outside, but events are craft shows, party in the parks, fireworks, fests, those are events.
Okay.
And then also we have ticketed events, so that's another subcategory also.
Sure.
Just because that's a limited amount and we're charging people. At events like Fest, we don't charge people to come in or
Yep,
party in
okay.
the park, so yes.
There are a certain area where you're losing, like certain events that are losing more money than others, or is it just kind of a combination of?
Well, it's not the ticketed events. Ticketed events are doing really well, and they're helpful because we can see in advance who has bought a ticket, so we know what we can purchase, what we can't purchase. It is our outdoor events, Party in the Park is mainly one. I know, to be bluntly, it was coming from Kids Corner, and that's why we are looking into changing that up, because we're trying to offer more for the community, it just wasn't working. So, I mean, it was a good idea, the first year, just like anything else, it kind of dives. People get a little, it's the same thing over and over again. So that's why I think we're at a point where we need to just wipe the slate clean and rebuild.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Of all events, you think?
Not all, no, we still have a good base, but
Okay.
we're just saying the way that we run the events,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So-
What do you think you guys will do differently?
You want to answer any of that, Josh?
Yeah.
Sure.
So when Irene and I discussed this a little bit last year, the first step is we're going to pull back. So we had, when you're thinking of like when she mentioned, like she said, to be blunt about the kids corner, it's the dramatic change. I think was also the environment. So for example, we were probably in 2023, our average kids corner was over 200 collectively, if I recall. We didn't average over 100. So the last two kids corners, specifically for Party in the Park, we kiboshed them just because we were losing so much. So we're trying to change it up because the kids corner does invite more people there as well as keep them there. And that's what you want, because if you're going to spend, for hindsight, so in other words, kids corner was a wristbanded area, $25. We had water slides, we had the foam party, and you get it for the entire Party in the Park. So there was in 2024 a lot of weather issues as well, but then there were still days that it could have performed extremely well, and it didn't.
Okay.
Dino Day, which is usually a slam dunk for us, it was 100 degrees. So they're not going to bring your 3-year-old or 4-year-old out to see the dinosaurs and then also come to Kids Corner. Same thing with Harry Potter. We had the drone show, and we actually had to move it up almost an hour, and then a microburst came.
Yep.
So luckily
Alright.
nobody
Yeah.
was hurt. So we're formulating things to still have Kids Corner,
Yeah.
but in a way that there's less risk, as well as change it up. Because when I even look at our surrounding other communities, they are doing Kids Corners now. And they're doing it at a fraction of the cost, maybe just not as large as we do. But they also don't have 3,000 to 5,000 people come as well.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to find that balance
Okay.
where we're at right now, and that's where we're kind of focusing, as well as we took back the amount of Party in the Park. So like last year we had 7, we're going to start with 4 this year, and then focus on the 4 that have typically been like no-brainers. That's Dino Day is usually a huge following. Hocus Pocus is a classic. Fiesta in the Park is another one, as well as Pokemon. And then we're looking at also another new event that we're going to be sitting down even with John and Andy and some of the staff, even with Chamber, looking into August. So that's not on here as it's still in the development stages, but that's kind of the things we're working with as of currently.
Okay.
That's why I mentioned in regards to like the dances, I'm hoping that kind of brings more of a glimpse of what the rest of the year is going to be. I mean, because I think we can all agree there was more of like an economy pressure on families last year. Not saying it's not this year. It's still too early going into looking at the summer if it'll affect that as well. But when I would speak to families or vendors, you know, if you were going to bring your family there, let's say a family of 4, you got 2 kids and they see the kids corner, and you can't afford it, are you going to bring your family there to possibly listen to your kids wanting to be in the kids corner and you can't go there? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, you know your dad, you know.
Yep.
So we think that also may have hindered people than just coming there.
Okay.
I will say, I also think that's a part of the reason why we cut down from 7 to 4. It was an oversaturation problem. We had,
Yeah.
you know, if you missed one, oh, I'll go to the next week. Oh, I'll go to the next week. And I think that also was an issue. So cutting down the number of events, Party in the Park specifically, that we have, maybe we'll get more of a crowd then, because it's, you know, you can't go to the one next week. They're more spread out.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
How much are the tickets for the Kids Corner?
They were $25
Yeah.
in the beginning, yes. Towards the end, when we flipped it, was it 10?
So we flipped it to where we had
Okay.
removed the big bounce houses aspect and the water slides, and we put more of just the foam party in because it's obviously the cost is way less. Because what happens is if we're going to move forward with some kind of kids corner, we have to ensure that it can also accommodate the large flow of kids. Like in other words,
Yeah.
you can't have a slide that only has 3 kids going on every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So then that also deters how many people you can let into the kids corner. So with a foam party, that can also allow a lot at one time and entertain so many at one time. So we are looking at that aspect of adding it to Kids Corner. It's not going to be $25. Me and Irene already have a small draft into what it will look like. But what I've also noticed, if we don't keep innovating, especially at Schererville parks, people watch us, people copy us. I mean, I'm not saying we don't watch other people either, but
Right.
I've noticed that it's popped up more often, and they're maybe not saying it's a kids corner, but we have a kids zone that is going to have this slide, and it's only $5. Well, are you going to go to that one, or are you going to go to the $25 one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I'll just say, like, as a dad, I've never really noticed the kids' corners that much. Like, if we would go to those events, I mean, so I don't know if maybe it's just not as prominent, or maybe I was intentionally avoiding them.
I mean, that could
Yeah,
be. So
it could be.
we
But
learn.
just to be honest with you, you said kids' corner in my head. I'm like, I don't think I know what that is.
Yeah.
I know what the dance is.
Right.
We look forward to that every year, and I recruit people to go to it. We know what some of the other bigger events are, like the fest. But
Right.
some of the smaller stuff, yeah, it's weather dependent, it's kid behavior dependent. I think, just my thought, this is just my thought, but we want to provide stuff for the kids, but I think we provide stuff for the kids as so that they'll sit there while the parents get to do what they want to do. I don't know if that makes any sense, right? If I want to be there, I'm going to find a way for us to go. If just my kids want to go, oh, yeah, we're so busy. You guys went
yeah.
to bed late. Are you sure that's a good idea? Hey, you guys want to watch a movie?
Yes.
So I don't know.
Right.
That just might be
Yeah.
that might be a thought as well.
And I think that's a parent brain, because I've
Yeah.
kind of talked that way with them too. I'm like, as a parent, sometimes too, we shut that stuff off. Not that we don't want to, but
Yeah.
you can't do that every single Friday. And it's
yeah,
pick
3
one.
kids, $75.
Yeah, it adds up
there's
very
no way.
quickly.
There's no way I would do that every single time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, and yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't remember ever, as a board, us discussing, financially what our goal is. I mean, personally, our goal to me, we should be at least at break even.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not saying we'll
Yeah.
Make money, but not to lose 40,000.
Yeah.
More than we made.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if we should set a goal for 2025, that our goal should be a net zero.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys strive for that. I think generally you guys strive for that, but yeah, I'm totally with you, Joe. I think,
Right.
absolutely. I think,
I mean, maybe it doesn't 100% look like it, but we have come a long way because we've had years where we weren't doing so hot on the spending and on, what we were bringing in. But, now too, we have more of an admin staff with Carly and Kristen, so we're watching all that, and our spending has dropped tremendously.
and that's great. The only thing I would ask is, like, when you guys are preparing this, with miscellaneous as a part of it, right? I understand that it's miscellaneous, but it's a line item. When these two numbers are really big and they look great,
Right.
and then you got two small numbers that are negative and don't look great,
Right.
we just need to see the real number, right?
Yes.
We're not trying to be critical.
So
None
I
of us
guess-
here could do your jobs at all.
Right.
We are
Well-
not capable of doing what you guys are doing, but we just need to know like where things are at, and then how can we support you guys?
Right.
So just give us the pure information.
Okay.
With the miscellaneous the whole way in, and then we can talk about it and we can brainstorm ways to, which I'm sure you guys already have. But just on my end, I just want to see the numbers.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
So I guess what I'm pointing out, and why say, revenue with 317,100,000. So I'm taking, I guess, more of the highlighted stuff. I'm taking events, programs, ticketed items. I'm separating those, but my numbers don't match, obviously, when we go to the our appropriation report. And that is because of all these extra things that are hard to account for. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that we can't get closer, because I probably could. It just takes more research, but I mean, I can give you a full breakdown.
Yeah.
But, so I just wanted to note, though, hey, that there is some miscellaneous, and yes, it's about 100,000,
Yeah.
on revenue.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, that's a huge chunk, but these are other things that keep our business going, basically.
I totally understand
Yeah.
that. I totally
Yeah.
understand that. But from an expense standpoint, we have almost $120,000 in miscellaneous.
Yes.
I get that it's hard to account for. That's the whole point of accounting. But
Right.
just going forward, when you guys are preparing the reports,
Okay.
I'm okay with context. You can give me context and say, this is why this number's negative. I get it. We're gonna have stuff that happens that's unexpected. We're
Right.
gonna have bad weather on an event that we spend a lot of money on. I mean, I remember the year where the weather was terrible for the fest, and we had to
2018.
yeah,
Oh,
it was a
yeah.
it was a total nightmare, right?
Right.
I'm okay. I get that. I just want the number. That's all I'm really nervous about. And the context in the number is fine, but
Okay.
just for a future. That's just all I'm asking. I think when it comes to the board, that just helps us to
Yeah.
kind of have an idea of where we're at in case someone comes to us and says, "What's up with
Okay,
this?"
I get it. I guess just because we see all these numbers in black and white, and then so
Cool.
we present it to you, it's kind of like we want to highlight the good, and I can give you definitely everything that you're asking
and
for. Yeah,
I still
so
want
it's
you to do
more
that.
appeasing,
I want you to
guess, the
highlight
eye.
the good, but you can highlight the good and show me what the numbers are, right?
Gotcha.
And that's the pie chart is great. I like the breakdown. I think that's very helpful.
Yeah, there's a
the
lot that
expenses,
goes
the pie
behind
chart's
it,
great.
yeah.
I absolutely get that. I would say with the miscellaneous stuff, to the extent that it's possible, and I realize that it might not be, maybe giving us an example of the top 2 or 3 things that
Okay.
are contributing to that.
Right.
So that we're like, oh yeah, we had to rent a bunch of tents because it was pouring rain, and that was totally unexpected, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You tell me, I don't care.
Okay.
But just so that we have we just want to see where the numbers are at.
Gotcha.
And then you can tell me all the good.
Okay.
I'll gladly listen because I think the world of you guys. I know you guys do a great job. So that's all. Yeah, that would be my only feedback on this. Yeah. Does anyone have other questions?
But I agree with that, but should we, as we go forward, help them understand that our goal is to break even?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
if
I'm with
we
you.
need to cut programs
I'm with you.
that have lost money for 3 or 4 years.
I'm with you.
We need to cut them.
Well, I look at
Right.
the dog park. Okay, we spent $14,000 on the dog park. We're
Yes.
charging $9,000, $9,100.
Right, well, the dog park can be an outlier. We had, there was an issue with, what did we have to change last year in dog park?
There was nothing but issues with dog park this year. But yeah, that is 100% an outlier. We also had some miscellaneous things in there, which I know you don't like miscellaneous, but
I don't dislike it. I just want to know what it is, right?
well,
you can
like
say,
we put
this is
we
miscellaneous,
put a
but-
portion of employee pay out of the dog park because it was someone who works on the dog park.
Yeah.
Which that has been removed, so a big portion of that
Yeah.
is going to come out of that.
Okay.
There was
Right.
a lot of just issues that we had to address this year
Yeah.
or last
Yeah,
year
with
with
the
the dog park.
gates.
With the gate,
Right.
with
Oh.
The
things being
landscaping.
blown up. Like there
Oh.
was
The
a-
gate was blown up?
not the gate, no, the porta potty was blown up twice.
Oh,
Yes.
boy.
Yeah, and then we had to keep, it was,
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
it was a year with the dog park, but that is 100% an outlier. That one, we usually get very close to breaking even with the
Yeah,
dog park,
okay.
so.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
but like, that's my point. That's to me, that's the context that's useful. Because like, I just look at that and I'm like, well, we need to raise what we're charging for the dog park. We should,
Right.
that's of everything. It's a place where dogs go to run and poop. We should break even on that. We should not lose money on poop,
Yeah.
right?
Honestly, I feel like this is the first time we've lost dog park money.
Yeah, it
Normally,
could be.
there's always been a bank. That money just sits there because we don't have any use for it.
Sure.
You know, the most we're doing is any landscaping out there, or like the poo bags comes out of there, you know, and then like we said, you know, we took part of an employee's salary from there, and
Which
we
makes sense. I
started
get
off
it.
great.
It's totally fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why
fair.
I kind of say this is an outlier, so it's hard to, but no, you're right, we should give you more context
Yeah,
to
yeah,
explain that.
100%. Absolutely. That would
And
be
I will
great.
say
Yeah,
with
can I
dog
go
park
back to
too,
the
oh, I'm
porta-
sorry, go ahead, Jen.
Yeah.
I'm just curious about the porta potty. Is the porta potty inside the dog park?
It is now.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So it wasn't before and.
No.
were
I mean, can we just
Fireworks or like what were?
Yeah.
Can we just be honest about the fact that if someone wants to drop a firework in the porta potty, they're gonna climb a fence and do it? Like, it
Oh,
doesn't really
100%.
matter where we put
I will
it.
say, so far, putting it inside the fence has worked. They did it twice, and then once we put it in the fenced bullpen area, nothing has happened to it since.
Really?
Yeah.
Hallelujah. That's
People,
awesome.
I don't know, maybe they just
They're
didn't have the energy.
lazy
I don't know.
fireworks launchers, I
Yeah.
guess.
Right. So,
That's so crazy. All
Sorry, I
right.
cut you off. Or you were gonna say something. I'm sorry.
I don't remember, but it was nothing super important, so.
Okay, cool.
any other questions?
And I guess, and I don't know if we get it, I don't think we do, just like corporations, they release quarterly financial statements.
Yes,
I'm wondering if we could, you know,
right,
like for the first quarter, maybe the April meeting, look at the first quarter. So as a board, we could help determine whether or not we need to change something so that we are breaking even.
Yeah,
We're
we-
not getting out of control, one way or the, well, obviously,
so, yeah, we do. We give you trimester reports.
Yeah.
Just because trimester works a little easier, just with summer needs to be
Trimester's
separated. Yeah, yeah, so,
trimester's fine.
yeah. Well,
And
maybe we
this
just,
is great.
okay.
I
We
have
probably
no
just need to
problem
set
with
more
this.
time
Yeah.
aside to make sure that we're actually going through the reports together, and yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, awesome. Thank you, Irene.
Thank you.
Any other,
No,
nope,
I don't have anything
no,
else.
okay, okay. That was reports from staff. Old business, any? Okay, jumping to new business. First up on the agenda, consider approval of the special event request for Logan's Love, Logan Speaks. Does anybody hear from them? Yep. If you
Yep.
want to come up?
Yes.
And if you could just state your name and address for the record, please. Is that mic on, guys? Didn't sound like it. Yeah, try again. Sorry, we just need it for the recording. Yeah,
Georgianne Glavis, 1727 Chelsea Street.
thank you.
Third year for Logan's Love, having the Easter egg hunt. We sent April 5th for the date, and we also just are requesting a waiver maybe of partial or full waiver of the fee as we bring it to the community and host a free event for the autism community and special needs.
Okay.
Irene, this is somewhere where I would revert to John and ask him what we did last year, because I can't remember. But
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's all right.
I don't believe anything has changed from last year, correct? For the application, no, everything is exactly the same.
What's our guidance around fee waivers in this case?
Well, so I know they submitted a letter.
Yeah, I see that.
So if you look on,
In the past, we've
Yeah.
reduced it to 250.
Okay.
And then,
Yes.
I believe with 250 security deposit that they get back.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
correct, yeah.
Right, that was last year. I think the first year, I think there was a full waiver, but I can't remember.
I believe the first year was a full waiver because it was a first
Oh, absolutely, so,
event.
yeah.
So, but last year we did reduce it to 250.
Okay.
And then we had 250 security deposit.
Okay.
That they got back.
Thank you. That's
Was that
exactly
for
fine.
both her events?
The
I believe-
security deposit went from the one event, and then we used it for the autism walk, and then we got it back at.
Right,
in
right.
September.
Oh, I meant the decrease in
Yes.
funding. Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
They paid 250 for each event, and then we rolled over the security deposit to the second.
Gotcha. Okay, I do remember.
Okay. Does anyone want to make a motion?
Am I understanding that we charged them $250 last year?
250 with a 250 security deposit, which
I don't care about
obviously they
security
got back.
deposit anymore. I've heard security deposit too many times. We charged them $250 last year.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Everyone's looking at you, Ed.
Mr. President, I'd like to make
Yeah.
a motion
Okay.
that we accept the special event request for Logan's Love on,
April 5th.
April 5th.
Yep.
And keep the same terms as last year.
Okay.
For 250, and we'll roll the deposit through that also.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion.
Return the deposit, correct?
Correct.
We have to say that.
Yep, okay. Got a motion on the floor. Is there a second? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries 4-0. Yep, okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, next up, Roman tournament request, NSA. Is anyone here from them?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
They are not, no. So we have 2 NSA tournaments this year. The first being World Series, which is the really big one. And then the second being Fall Brawl, and that one is in September, which is the 26th to 28th, and the World Series is July 15th through the 20th. For Fall Brawl, they are requesting a fee reduction to $200
Okay.
per field, which we have done in the past with them, so $350 to $200.
Yep.
And
And then normal amount for the World Series?
yes, normal
Okay.
amount for World Series.
Okay. Anything else we need to know?
Nope.
No?
So are we just approving the September 26th event?
No, World Series as well.
Yeah, that's
The second
Yeah.
this one.
photograph page also.
Yeah, there's 2 in there.
Joe, I don't think he has this sheet for this,
Mm-hmm.
so.
Right. Both names are on the application itself, and then the letters are 2 separate events.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, relative to they want the fee to continue at $215 for the light usage. So I'm sure they're, I don't know if the right word is leasing other places outside of us.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
is that-
centered through,
We're charging?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Is that what the other towns are charging? I'm sure they're going,
I don't know what the other towns are charging. I don't know what the other towns are charging. I can't speak for them, but they are not centered around here. They're out of Knox, so they do tournaments all over the state. I don't know exactly what other towns are charging.
I do know with the second contract for the World Series, that is a staple with all the towns surrounding us that are involved in it. So they all get the same thing, yes. As far as the September one, I'm not sure about that one. I think they only play with us for September, right?
Yeah, they only play with us
Yeah,
for September.
yes.
Normally, they do
Right, so this
midsummer
is-
with us as well, but we had a scheduling conflict this year, so they're doing it elsewhere. But the majority of the time, the 3 tournaments are done. Well, 2 of them are exclusively done with us, and then World Series is multiple in the area.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, but this is standard with everyone, so.
Okay. Ed did the last one. One of you guys has to do it.
I don't, I'll do them all. It doesn't
In
matter to me.
motion. I'm just teasing.
I know.
We just need a motion, guys.
I'll make a motion to approve the Rover tournament requests for both July 15th to the 20th, September 26th and 28th.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
To add to that, the July 15th through the 20th is going to be at our normal rate, our normal scheduled rate. And
Yes.
And the September 26th through the 28th is at the negotiated rate.
Yes.
Okay. We have a motion
Yep.
on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Everyone? I'm sorry.
Aye.
Yep,
Aye.
aye. Okay.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Next up, discuss the beer garden, RFP.
Yes, so we have both for Fest and for fireworks.
Okay.
Me and John did do a breakdown for festival and what we have brought in for the last 4 years,
Okay.
and then also with an average. So that's what you see in the chart there.
Okay.
Yes, there hasn't been any major changes. Kristen, he didn't add anything extra, right, to the RFP? Yeah, no, they're exactly the same with the guaranteed flat fee of $7,000 for Fest and I believe $500 for fireworks.
Okay. It's the same vendor, yeah.
It's going out as
Maybe.
an RFP, so,
What did you say?
Maybe.
going out as an RFP.
Yes, it's an RFP, so
Yeah, they're,
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
You're
Thank
fine.
you.
It's
Okay.
Yeah.
that's why I said maybe.
Got it.
it's probably going to be, but we'll see.
I didn't hear what you said at all, so that's perfect. Okay. Okay.
I guess my question, sorry to interrupt, Irene, do you guys want to keep it at the, were you going to ask that? I'm sorry. The 7,000?
Oh, no, I was just stating what fireworks was as opposed to
Oh,
Fest.
gotcha.
Yes.
I know that typically they're also the reason we usually bring it up, and just make sure that you guys want to keep the guaranteed amount for both of those.
Yeah.
Before we send out the RFP.
Okay.
Yes.
Because if you see as well, you guys, we changed it in 2021 to 7,000 for Fest.
Yeah.
Last year was the first year we have made the entire Fest the beer garden. I think we had rave reviews in regards to the layout. So I think things went really, really well. So it's just up to you guys in regards to, specifically more of the Fest one is probably our biggest,
Are you thinking we should
question.
increase it for the fest? Is that your suggestion?
It's a slippery slope. Like we've had a really great last 4 years. We've done a lot of stuff to the fest itself, like especially with the fencing. We haven't even really sat down in depth on what I'm changing this year because I am going to be getting some larger fences for the certain areas where we're having jumpers. I
wasn't
think,
jumping, Josh. I was trying to get over. No.
you're trying to get over that. In my opinion, I think keeping it at the 7 right now is fine. I don't think it's a huge issue, maybe just to revisit it every 5 years. Because they've also, if you look at it, they've also increased the amount of percentages that they give us. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if we go to 7,500, that's a relatively modest increase.
Yeah.
Especially if we're now offering it at the fest. I don't think we necessarily need to change it for the fireworks. If I remember correctly, the fireworks has been a little bit more of a struggle.
Correct. The risk is a lot greater.
There's a
because
much greater risk,
You
yeah.
don't have another day to figure it out.
Yeah, so I would say maybe we leave that one the same, but, I think based on the popularity of the fest and that we're offering the beer garden the full time now, then maybe it's reasonable to increase it
Yeah.
a modest amount. What do you guys think? Okay?
Depends on who makes the motion.
It's up to the motion maker.
Okay, I will make a motion to increase the guaranteed flat fee for our beer garden, our FP, to $7,500
Okay,
for year 2025.
okay. We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries 4-0. And then, if we don't get any bids back, let us know. We can.
Oh, we
probably-
will.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that we
Like,
will.
we need to have a talk.
What'd you say?
I said, oh yeah, we need to have a talk.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Yeah, I would be really surprised if that was an issue, just based on the, because what's our percentage of the revenue?
That they determine that.
Oh, they bid that out. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. I lost my first page. Hang on, guys. Okay.
Oh, you're going to need to, we've adjusted the amount. We need to just approve both RFPs for publishing or for publication.
Oh, we need to approve the second one, don't we?
Both of them,
Yes.
actually.
Yes, thank you.
Fine.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'm doing Christian's job right now,
You,
so.
yeah. He was asleep. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. So we need a motion to approve the RFP for the fireworks at the same rate. Yep.
Okay. I will make a motion to increase the RFP for the fireworks for 2025 to 7,500.
Okay. We have a motion on the. No.
You said fireworks.
Oh,
500.
it's 500.
Just 500.
Just 500.
I don't see that.
We will not have a beer garden at the
500.
fireworks.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I can guarantee it'll be a dry fireworks.
Oh,
We're gonna amend the motion.
BYOB, no?
Yeah, BYOB. If they would pass an ordinance and let people do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're, just to clarify for the record, we're amending the motion so that it's for $500, not $7,500. Yes?
Yes.
Yes,
correct.
okay. We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries 4-0, excuse me. Okay, last item on the agenda, well, excuse me, not the last. Last item under new business is to consider approval of the Schererville softball lease.
So we discussed the terms last meeting. Nothing has changed. It's just signed.
The price changed, right?
Yes.
Okay, they signed it?
Yes.
Should be simple.
Yep.
Yep.
Mr. President, motion to approve non-exclusive lease agreement with the Schererville Girls Softball League for 2025,
Okay, motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
as signed. I'm sorry.
As signed. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
I will second that.
Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries 4-0. Any other business from the board? Any other business from staff?
No.
Any business from the floor? Any comments from online?
Oh,
How many people would we get today?
There was one comment, actually 2 people.
Oh, 2.
Hit me.
They were asking in regards to the Lil Park on South Park. One gentleman asked regarding replacing the Lil Park on S Park, so South Park. And then Beth would also like to know about the Little Park.
At South Park, I assume?
Yeah.
Yep.
I know that we're not supposed to take questions off of Facebook or comments. I guess we're supposed to, they're
Oh.
supposed to call in. Yes.
okay.
I know we talked about that at the department head meeting, so.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
please call in and
Ask for John, ask for Irene, ask for Josh.
talk to our wonderful staff
Yeah, we'll
about
give you
your
Ed's
ideas.
cell phone number. No.
And then we will address it in the next meeting, I guess.
Yes,
As
yeah.
they see it necessary. Okay, awesome. Then with that, no more business from the floor. Our next meeting's already on the calendar, so we should be good, right? It's that first Wednesday in March?
5th?
Is
Yeah.
that what it is?
Yep.
Okay, Wednesday the 5th at 6 o'clock? Yep, okay. We just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay,
Second?
okay, we have motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries 4-0. Meeting is adjourned.